That was a short scene from The Nerd by Larry Shue, which is playing at the Pocket Sandwich Theater. And Sean and Mark are going to join us over on this side of the studio now. Just walk right through. There you go. And there's some mics on your chairs there. Under your Sean, yours is under your right arm.
Okay.
We'll let Hal fix you up there. While they're getting mic'd, I'll let you know that the Nerd runs through April 25th at the Pocket Sandwich Theater, which is located at 5400 East Mockingbird, which is that strip mall where Bookstop and Premiere Video and the Burger King, I believe,
That's right.
is. Mockingbird just east of Central. The telephone number, we'll repeat it later, but it's 821-1860. Welcome, Sean. Mark, good to have you here.
Thank you.
Tell me about, let's start with you, Sean. This is the second time that you have done The Nerd for the Pocket Sandwich Theater, right?
Mm-hmm.
And
yes.
You are reprising a role as Rick. You did it when? How many years ago?
It was almost exactly 3 years ago.
And was it different coming into it this time? Having done it before, did you, had Rick somehow changed or evolved over the past 3 years?
Yeah, you know, actually, I think he has. And a lot of it I really didn't notice myself because he felt the same. But some other people have pointed things out to me, and then as I thought about it, I thought, well, maybe they're right. I think he's a little more animated, a little larger physically, if that even seems possible. I mean, the last time I did it, I mean, he was large and he was animated, but this time it's even more, I think. And I guess there are several factors involved in that. I mean, it may just be life experience that, you know, brings me that far as an actor, or just the different people in the cast. I mean, I think that made a major difference also in the character.
Do you find playing this guy who is such... It is somebody that we would not really want to live in our homes.
Uh-huh.
Does he become somehow sympathetic with the audience, or how have you learned to like him? Do you?
I like him very, very much.
Now, why is that? I mean, chances are, if you knew him, you wouldn't want him living with you, I would assume. Or would you?
Well, gosh, that's a complicated question for me, I guess, because I do live with him, but you know, I guess if I were totally objective, I guess maybe no, you wouldn't want this guy living with you from a reality standpoint. But yeah, I think the audience does sympathize, or they see things in him that they know definitely exist in their own selves. You know,
such as
just vulnerability to everything. You know, that goofiness that messes up every time you try to do something. You know, which I mean, obviously we don't all mess up every time, but I mean, everybody messes up sometime, and you must at some point in your life feel like a geek, a nerd. I mean, I think everybody feels like that. And so I think when they see this person, even though he basically is tormenting everybody in the house there, I do think that they kind of can relate to that geeky feeling.
Now this voice that you have developed, did the voice come out of the character, or the character out of the voice? How do you work that, or the whole posture and everything else? Which comes first? Do you work outside in or inside out to develop someone who's so strange?
Yeah, I don't know how much I want to admit to. I think a lot of it does exist within me. The bad posture, for one, and just the general goofiness. I mean, I guess in my regular life, that's the way I am. I mean, I like to play around and joke around, but I don't know, inside out, outside in. I really don't know. I just kind of go on a feeling type of thing. And basically, the voice really came the first time during auditions for the last show that we did, for the last Nerd, and it just came. It was kind of some Jerry Lewis in there, and then just kind of some of me, and it just kind of mixed itself up and just kind of got there. I really didn't do a whole lot of thinking about it. I just let it happen, and the posture actually just came. I think the posture really followed the voice. I mean, with that kind of voice like that, you know, you're not going to stand up straight, you know, and you're going to have these real sharp or, you know, just goofy, wild movements, and so it kind of just followed.
How about you, for Mark? For you, Mark. Actually, the three of you, I don't know from, I guess I've seen you on stage before because I saw The Foreigner. Mm-hmm. Mark, I don't believe I'd ever seen you.
No, actually, I'm real recent to the Dallas area.
But you've worked where? Out at Garland?
Yeah, I worked at Garland doing Wait Until Dark, and that was lots of fun. And right now, doing the next show at the Pocket Sandwich, Sherlock Holmes.
Oh, great. The one that Joe is writing?
Yeah, yeah, it's fun.
What brought you to Dallas? Did you come here for theater?
Yes.
Is this out of a school situation? Or?
No. Actually, like I was in Houston, and you know, their theater is kind of depressed right now. They have like maybe 4 or 5, and I came up here meeting a friend, and he said, "Hey, you know, we've got 20, 30 theaters here. You know, why don't you come up here and try it? So so that's what I did. My wife and I decided to make the move from Houston, and
Valerie, who
yeah.
is also in the show. We
Yeah,
should
she plays
credit her.
Tansy. Yeah, and this was the first time we ever have been in a show together, so that was
And
fun.
plays your sort of girlfriend slash fiance,
Right,
possibly.
right.
Well, now, how is that working in that kind of situation when you work with someone with whom you live and then play a similar
It's
situation on
great.
stage?
It's fun. It really is.
Do you find you can bring in your own personal history onto the stage, or do you avoid doing something like
No,
that?
well, some of the things, yes, we were able to bring on. Other things were a little bit more difficult than what we had thought. We thought maybe some of the intimate moments would have just come natural, but actually they were kind of difficult there for a while. But we worked them out. You know, it's neat. It's really a treat because I don't know if we'll be able to do another show together, at least for a while. At least not playing opposite one another. You know, we may be in the same cast, but being boyfriend girlfriend, that's kind of fun.
I was real intrigued with that when I
Yeah.
first read the program.
Yeah.
Did you cast with that in mind, going, gee, this would be interesting to put a couple off stage as a couple on stage, or was that not an issue when you were casting the show?
Was not an issue. I cast them because of their readings at the auditions. However, it was a consideration, the fact that they were a couple and they would presumably have a chemistry, a feel with each other that you wouldn't have to establish with two people who didn't know each other. And it turned out that wasn't true. They didn't have that at all. We had to work on those moments more than anything else, but it all turned out all right.
Yeah.
What is the show about for the two of you, especially? Well, who is the show about, do you think? Do you think it's about Willem, or is it about Rick?
I would think it's about Willem, but I think it's about Axel, who's the missing person here, who really gets these two guys together. You know, I really think it's Axel's whole idea to bring Rick in and to get Willem and Tansy together. You know, really, I think it's a good deed done by Axel.
Axel's got some fabulous lines.
Oh, yes.
The type that I always wish I could just immediately think of them when I'm in those situations.
Yeah.
All those great one-liners.
Yeah.
Well, what do you want the audience to walk away feeling when they see this?
I want their sides to be hurting because they're laughing so hard.
I want them exhausted.
Yeah, I just really, especially now the way times are, you know, with everything, the recession and everything, I think it's kind of nice to be able to walk into a theater, forget all that stuff, leave it all behind you, and just have a good time, enjoy yourself, you know? That's what I like.
Is this a difficult show in terms of all the energy you have to put out? I mean, you both of you really do. You're on stage
Yeah.
massive periods of time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does, really.
It is difficult from that. From a physical standpoint, it is very.
Yeah.
But I don't think you ever. I don't. I never think about that when I'm out.
Oh, no. And we're having so much fun
Yeah.
that I don't think, you know, it's not a bother or anything. It's not until, like, after the curtain call, we're backstage and we're like, oh my gosh, I'm sweating, you know? It's great. Yeah, it's lots of fun. It was a pleasure. The rehearsals are great. Performances have been excellent. We've had great crowds. It's been lots of fun.
Do the audiences react similarly every night, or are there surprises for you?
The
Very
audiences
different.
are greatly varied, I
Yeah.
think. I mean, you know, they react on a lot of the major things, you know. I mean, things that are just blatantly obvious as far as they're supposed to be funny, so you laugh. But they react on different things. I mean, I guess it's like any theater. You know, different audiences laugh at different things.
Yeah.
But they do so in this show also.
Where do you want your careers to go from here? Do the three of you intend to stay in Dallas, or do you eventually want to migrate out into a larger talent pool or larger market than Dallas?
I would, sure.
Would you?
I think right now, for me, Dallas is a good place to start. It's a really good foundation for me to get back into it, because I've been out of it since school, and that was a while. But for me, that's what. Yeah, I'd like to, go to L.A. or Chicago or
Go into
somewhere.
film or
Yeah,
stick to theater?
I kind of. That's a medium that I would really like to get into. I don't know. I like the theater. It's great. It's just different.
How about you, Sean?
I just want to do shows at the Pocket Sandwich Theater with Hal. That's all I want.
You have attained your goal. Where do you go from here?
No, I would, obviously. I mean, I would like to go on, and if I could do film, that would be fine. If I could do commercials, that would be fine. I really love theater. I really do. More than anything, I'm really just concerned, really, with the artistic part of it. I mean, I hope I can make my money at it someday.
Yeah.
Chances are, maybe I won't. I mean, chances are greatly that I won't. But I love what I'm doing. I mean, I really seriously love it. I I mean, that is exactly right. Well, obviously, I mean, most of us in Dallas. I mean, we talk about a lot of theaters being here, but
Right.
really everybody does it because they love it. And if you don't love it, then I don't know why you would possibly do it.
Yeah. If anything, that's the theory at the Pocket Sandwich. You know, they make that sure that it's
Labor of
just a good
love.
time. Exactly.
Labor of love.
That and women dig it.
See, especially when you're playing a sex symbol like Rick
You'd be
Stedman.
surprised.
The dates that you get out of this role. We're just about ready to wrap up. I want to make sure we get times and telephone numbers and anything else pertinent. Hal, can you fill us in on that information? How many more weeks are we playing here?
2 more weeks, Thursday through Sunday, 8 o'clock on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, 7 on Sunday.
And they do have food and beverage service before
Optional.
all shows. Optional, right? And once again, the box office number, I guess it's up there on your screen, 821-1860 through April 25th. Hal, pleasure to have you here.
Pleasure.
Sean,
Thanks a lot.
Mark, best
you.
of luck
Thank
with
you
the
very much.
rest of the run. Thank you to my entire technical crew, all under the direction of Philip Allen. We have Steve Sparkman tonight, and Paul Douglas, and James Toller, and in the control booth, I think we have Ron and Don, like I said, all under the direction of Philip Allen. I'm Dwight Sandell. Next week we'll be talking with Addison Center Theater about their new theater, new space, and their show, The Illusion. I hope you'll tune in. Thanks for watching. Good night.